Hi, so let's talk about personal care and plastic a little bit. I've done 2 videos in this series so far. The first one was specifically about cleaning products and pesticides. The second one, we talked about linens and fragrances, and now we're getting into personal care and plastics. And this is all kind of based off of the Branch Basics course, the Toss the Toxins course, which is free and you can get it online and just watch through everything. But it's just kind of my summed up thoughts and kind of ways that I want to fix and change things in my household so I'm not poisoning my family anymore. Unwittingly. I didn't know I was, but I am, so yay. Anyway. Into the personal care stuff. Let's start with that first. So I went through all of the bathroom, everything, and I tossed a lot of stuff. I don't keep a lot of skincare and makeup. I am pretty minimal about that already, but there was still stuff that I needed to throw out, so I did that. I learned that luckily the stuff I've been using for my hair and for my skin is all healthy, and most of my makeup, it was all Pros, that the company Pros. I use their hair stuff, I use their skin stuff, and that's worked out really well for me, and so I get to keep using that, which is fantastic. When it comes to my makeup, I use, I think it's called OGEE or OGEE, OGEE, and I use most of their products for my skincare, and most of them are supposed to be great except for their mascara. It wasn't on the list. There's a list that they give you on the Branch Basics website for some of their favorite stuff. And the OG stuff was on there, just not the mascara. So I need to look into that a little bit more, and then maybe when I'm done with this mascara, I'll move on to another one that's a little bit healthier. But overall, I was pretty happy with what I already have. Unfortunately, deodorant-wise, so I've always used basically my husband's deodorant because it's the only one that actually doesn't make me sweat and doesn't give me BO. If I use an antiperspirant, I will get BO. And so I've always just used a normal deodorant. And the best one for me has been Old Spice. And there is an Old Spice deodorant that is considered safe. It's on the 1 scale, but I had just never thought about, mine is not. Mine is on a 4 out of, I think it's 9, which is, better than it could be, but not as good as it could be. So I will probably need to replace that deodorant. Unfortunately, I have lived off of Old Spice for my whole life. So I'm either gonna have to try the one that is safe, it has no fragrances and all of that, or try something else, and they have other options. So I'm considering looking at those, but I really have liked my Old Spice deodorant. Beyond that, I just recognize that mostly it's something I'm gonna have to be more aware of for my husband and my kids, because I haven't thought much about it. I just kind of got stuff that looked a little bit more natural for the kids, and my husband has kind of stayed with Head & Shoulders because that's worked best for him. But I'm just gonna have to be more aware and effective with their stuff so that I'm not poisoning them and keeping myself healthy, because that doesn't make any sense. The other thing they specifically talk about on the Branch Basics course is feminine hygiene products, and that's not really a problem for me because I'm generally pregnant all the time, so I don't have to use anything. But I had been largely using tampons, and especially after you give birth, you need pads, and I just hadn't really thought about it that much. I just kind of use what people give me and buy a big thing of pads to make it work, after giving birth. And I'm going to be giving birth now in 3-ish months. But it was funny because as I was searching up stuff, especially diapers for the baby and wipes for the baby that we already have, I think I was on Pinterest, and then something popped up that was organic diapers for postpartum women, whatever. And so I was oh, okay. So that does exist. It is a thing. You can get it. But it's just little things like that that you don't really think about. You just kind of go about your day not paying attention, and not realizing that, oh, these things are actually affecting me. And that some of the stories that they talk about just related to feminine hygiene products for the people that they work with and that have experienced problems with their health because of it was kind of wild. And it did make me wonder if like a lot of my problems as a teenager were related to those products, because I have largely not had those problems, but I've also been married and having kids and haven't needed those products as much. So I have just stayed away from them. And more recently, I got like the silicone, I don't even remember what they're called, but it's like the silicone things that you can put in instead. And that was fine. I didn't love it. I've heard some period underwear is really good and more natural, so look into that. They have different options on their website and in the course, but it just had never crossed my mind that that was even an issue or something to worry about. The other thing I really love about the Branch Basics website is that they have a lot of pages of like recommended products. So if you're just getting started and you don't really know exactly what to look for or what ingredients are okay or whatnot, because it can be a lot of work to go through that, they have lists of products that they suggest in general, like overall in all of their toxins videos. On their